Nova Online, proven predator time and time again, has found himself inching closer and closer, completely under our noses, to a community who would accept, embrace, and even celebrate his PDF file ways. We last covered these people's Discord and disgusting YouTube channels if you'd like to watch that video on them first. Today though, what we'll focus on is Nova Online's crazed fangirl and the group of people she's involved with. Keeping tabs on Nova, you'll see this Alice girl popping up from time to time now in his comment section, laying down some undeserved glaze for the chome, of course, or even notice the fact that she made this creepy ass shrine to the fella. But after all this praise and attention he's gotten from her, it's really started to interest the guy. The most positive feedback he normally gets in his comment section are from new, uninformed people praising his shower videos. So someone dedicating so much time fangirling over him and trying to, reach him, a huge change for him. It began with a comment acknowledging her existence. Now though, unfortunately, she started getting more and more contact out of Nova, whether that's talking to her in chat on live, or pinning her messages, or speculation of him replying to her emails in private now. How much do we even need to speculate here though? Because he'd even start following her on TikTok and then go ahead and follow her back up. In fact, during editing, it came out through Solidus Nova that the two have in fact been in contact with one another. There's been plenty of people now talking about the high likelihood of this fangirl allegedly being a minor. Plenty of people in my previous video stated she sounded such, so of course this is a great move on Nova's part. Right, Gabriel, as a man with a mountain of evidence that you've spent a lot of time talking to younger fellas you shouldn't be on Discord. A man nearly 4,000 people saw get called out time and time again on Too High for Stupid for being a chome. I'm sure it wasn't a lapse in judgment or anything, to start interacting and intertwining your lore with this Alice girl. But really, what can you expect of the guy? It really is like tossing a shad right into the face of a largemouth bass. He wasn't going to even think about hesitating. He's moving entirely on chome instinct. In all seriousness though, this isn't nearly the worst of it, because the more and more Buddy interacts with this girl, minor or not, the closer he inches to finding a community of people who most definitely will accept and even praise him for the predatory shit he gets up to. What group would that be, Grubba? You guys might be wondering. Well, it would be a group affiliated with this Defender character I introduced you fellas to in my last Nova video, the co-owner of Alice's Nova Defense Discord server. That group would be the Killyverse UTTP group.
Stop right there!
You'll find them posting with this goofy ass logo in all of their videos. The UTTP stands for the YouTube Troll Police, a group originally founded some 15 years ago that was originally supposed to combat trolls, but now seems to be mostly sporadic groups of incels and edgy 14-year-olds. I wish I could say incels and edgy teenagers was the worst of it, but this seemingly goes deeper and deeper. You'll see this Killyverse denomination of UTTP would begin to make fan edits about deviants proven to have committed heinous crimes against children, such as Peter Scully. Defender's icon being thrown into the mix of this specific edit by one of the group's members.
App rights and free Peter Scully! UTT Great Price, Tommy Park healing! UT Life, Tommy Park your president!
If you didn't catch what else their corny ass avatars were spouting nonsense about in the beginning as well, a common thing you'll see them posting about is map rights. MAP, of course, being an acronym for minor attracted person. A rebranding sick individuals decided to use in an attempt to both normalize PDF file behavior and at the same time try and weasel their way into the LGBTQ+ try and garner support from there. But for everyone in this group to be praising individuals such as Peter Scully or shouting about map rights, they've got to be disgusting, extremely sick, and further we look into their posts, that only becomes more and more evident, with Defender making videos about being a part of the map community. Claiming Schlepp is a Mossad agent for some reason, the Roblox YouTuber who got banned for exposing predators on the platform, or just advertising their weird troll police group. Defender, while already proven now twice to be a predatory individual, is sick alone. He would serve as the connection from Nova to Alice to him to this community of gross individuals, ripe and ready to accept the chome for the chome he is. Now, a lot of these videos, if you come across them, you'll notice have this Killyverse tag on. An identifier in plenty of these posts clarify that, like Defender, they're in this weird, sick group. Now, this Killyverse group would continue, like Defender, to spout all this weird incel nonsense about being in the map community and continuing on and praising depraved individuals. The namesake of Killyverse, seemingly the mastermind of it all, would be this Killyjit, someone living with their foster parents with sick and twisted fantasies, who would allegedly groom, manipulate, and influence other young individuals to, of course, spout all that PDF file nonsense we've been talking about, and also allegedly put on nasty displays of animal cruelty. Killy, being the zoo sadist chud that he is, would get into contact with this Anthony person, who, so inspired by the gross nonsense that Killy would go on about, would begin to post that same type of Killyverse content, until one fateful day where he would go and we'd get this comment where Anthony would post a photo of a dog, naming it the Killyverse dog. Whether corrupted by Killy or already deranged beforehand, who knows? What we do know is that it seems really likely that shortly following this photo, Anthony would go on to commit terrible acts of animal cruelty and gloat about it afterwards with this image. A photo of what appears to be that same dog with a noose around its neck, seemingly deceased, with of course a note proclaiming it was the Killyverse doing. Just what we're seeing here, joke or not, which I really can't see this being a joke with how disgusting, tone-deaf, horrible the nature of it is. It's just disgusting display of apathy regarding the life of this animal. If anything, they were more joking about it, seeing the end of this poor dog's life as something hilarious or deserved for some reason. Regardless of this being fake or not, the owner of this account seriously needs to be checked into some sort of mental institute. But that would not be the only sick disregard for life this group would show us, as they would also allegedly take the life of another dog and a handful of small animals, all in the name of this Killyverse group. In all honesty, skimming through some of the photos I've found in order to make today's video truly made me nauseous, so I'd like to take a second before we continue on to remind everyone to never go out of your way to contact or harass those covered in my channel, but if you come across accounts like these blatantly violating TOS of the platforms they're on, just remember that that report button is there for a reason. Moving on, you'd almost not believe it, but we found ourselves escalating the severity of what these people get up to even further. Killy, the head of this disgusting Killyverse group, would also be allegedly well known in engaging with, downloading, and sharing the let's say, type of videos you'd find in Epstein's camera roll, with screenshots of him trying to download a very well-known specific video of that kind. You'll see comments of people under a plethora of these people from the UTTP making claims of this material being spammed on their discords, and that the reason their discords get taken down so very often. In all honesty, I think that that's all that needs to be said on that specific topic regarding Killy, because it's just so incredibly vile, but apparently he's very well known for it. But this Killy guy, along with the rest of the Killyverse, would very evidently tie very close knots with the Defender person spoken about before. If it wasn't clear from this now deleted TikTok page where Killy clearly posted about the Defender, this of course generating a whole lot of concern when you begin to think about how close this is all coming to Nova Online. With, again, Defender being so deeply intertwined with Alice, Nova Online's fangirl that he's been in contact with, truly it seems like it's only a matter of time before Nova begins interacting with this Killyverse group, as if it, hasn't already happened behind the scenes. These people would so very clearly make Nova feel validated and accepted for his behavior with young people, and provide the Chom with something he quite honestly doesn't deserve, and that's confidence that he can continue to get away with this type of thing on Discord. It's extremely alarming that the Chom is finding himself closer and closer to becoming part of this community that praises and rewards that same PDF file tendencies we know him for, and it really seems like he'll give absolutely no resistance when it comes to falling into this crowd. We'll just have to keep an eye on this chud and that god-awful community. I'd like to give a big thank you real quick to anyone who made it all the way through this video though today. I really do appreciate you fellas. Leave a little like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this get put out. Anyways, later Grubbas.